Hey everybody, Pitchman. So past couple days we've been talking about my sales philosophy. Distill value, package value, communicate value. In the first series we talked about distilling value. We basically said, you know what? It's identifying the problem. Packaging value is where we talk about how you layer on or identify the solution. And that solution may require you to package additional services or partner services to make sure that your overall solution addresses each one of the customer's problems. And now we're going to talk about communicating the value. And I'm just turning towards the camera because I'm really passionate about this. Communicating the value is very personal. It's about credibility. Now, you've been doing your homework with the customer. You asked him some point blank questions. What are your problems? How do you validate? How do you measure those problems? They said that they wanted to reduce capital expenditures. Your solution will reduce capital expenditures. That's not communicating the value. You have to know by how much. When you communicate value, you have to be able to quantify it. That's communicating the value. Quantify it. It has to be measurable result. So a lot of you are going to say, well, how do you do that? If you don't know, call me. Present your solution to me. I will absolutely show you how to measure the value of that. I would hope there's somebody in your chain of command that can do it. It's not your marketing team. They may have some good ideas, but somebody in your organization, probably at the C level, CFO maybe, can show you how your solution, how to quantify the ROI or the metrics, the value, the cost savings for that particular customer. And then as you present it to them, you said, Mr. Customer, you said you want to reduce CapEx. This will reduce your CapEx by blah, 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 6.2%, which in your world, Mr. Customer, is about $72,000 per quarter, right? Oh, you said you wanted to streamline operational efficiencies? Well, now you'll be able to increase your ticket flow or your order processing or your EDI flow through by, 17%, right? Well, wow, you've increased productivity by 17%. That means they'll get how much more in sales? What's 1% of sales worth to that customer? If you don't know the answer to that question, you got to ask your customer up front. Right? And if your customer refuses to tell you that information, then you, A, are dealing with an idiot, or B, you haven't established enough trust and credibility with that customer that he's willing to share you with that information. And that's simply a discussion you have up front. I'm going to ask you some questions, Mr. Customer. You're going to have to tell me the answers to those questions, or I'm not going to be able to solve your problem for you. So when you go to communicate that value, you're basically presenting, here's the problem, here's the solution, and here's why it's the solution. It increases productivity by 17%, which equates to about $4.7 million additional per quarter in sales for you, right? And here's how much CapEx it reduces for you. So boom, there we have. Let's go ahead and get started as soon as possible. I can have my team in here doing a technical discovery with you in 2 weeks. Make sense? There's no pricing discussion. Whatever pricing discussion he wants to come up with, you've already eliminated it by being able to justify and quantify the metrics for him. Boom. You just communicated the value. And it needs to be you, salesperson, not your marketing team, not somebody else. It needs to be you. Distill value, package value, communicate value. That's a Pitchman sales philosophy. And remember, when the Pitchman speaks, your channel grows.